Okay, woo! Here we go. Finally. Sorry, y'all. That was a learning curve, but we're all here. So, yeah, and that sound is the garage door. It's right underneath me. My daughter and my mom are coming by. They will be giving the lizard some crickets. But anyway, hi Murray.
Lizards.
Yeah, she has a lizard. One lizard, the other one passed away. It's 22 years old. Can you believe this lizard is 22 years old?
Wow.
And it's really good for
What do they normally get?
I don't know, probably not that old, but something about my mom's house, everything thrives. You should see the plants around here. It's like a jungle downstairs.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. She's got good energy,
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, so we're recording. Everything looks good. I'm going to ask that everyone mute themselves. Actually, I can mute all. Mute all. There we go. And so let me know if you want to unmute yourself. You can do that. Or ask, I don't know. Either way, we'll figure it out. I only see, switch to gallery view. There we go. This will be good. We're getting there. I don't see any of you though. Are you guys using your cameras? Ah, there you are. Woo! Yes, thank you, Jesus. Okay, guys. So as I started, the first thing I want to let you know is things are always agile in your business. Don't be afraid to reconstruct based on what makes sense, rather than going, well, I said I was going to do it this way, so we're just going to do it this way. That's not always productive. Case in point, this elixir was supposed to be all about your masterclass. And as I started fleshing out the first 3 doses, I was getting to dose 4 or 5, and we hadn't even gotten to how to do the masterclass yet. And I was like, oh man, there's just too much information. So I quickly realized that it's really, we've got to frame what it is we're going to do for anything that's not a portal product, anything that's not an impulse buy, anything that's not $10 to $99. You guys need to know what to do for that. And so that's where I scaled back and said, okay, this dose is going to be, and I'm so glad we had the buffer at the end. So I borrowed sort of some of that time to say, we won't need as long to talk about subscriptions, right? So we can do that and whatever is left. But I think you'll agree now with this elixir, if you haven't dived in yet, there's a lot going on and a lot of moving parts that you need to understand before you can actually execute the master class. So the next elixir will be all about how do you do the master class. But before that, you need to know, how do you get people in the master class? So that's what this elixir was about. I'm not sure if all of you actually went through it already. Show your hands if you actually did go through all 6 doses. You can come on in. So 1, 2. Hi, cutie.
Hi.
There's my mom. You can say hi, Mom, if you want.
Hello, all you wonderful people.
Oh, that's my mom. And this is, well, you know Quaid.
Hi.
All right, so put the cricket in. So then let's see. Raluka, did you raise your hand? Raise your hand again if you did the whole 6 doses? Not yet, okay. And Pat, I can't see you, but that's okay. And Cal, I don't know if you're at work or what, but so it's okay, you guys. Don't fret. You know, all is well, as it always is. But know that there's a lot, and each dose there's many handouts, and it's like peeling an onion. Let's see, Marianne. Oh, good. Marianne's coming in now. So I wanted to just share my screen and show you, like zoomed out, what each component is, and then coach you on anything else that I think's missing, or based on what you've done so far, not many of you have gone through it all. If there's anything that you feel you need more clarification around, as you could see with my Vishita talk, right? I've started planting the seeds with the Hollowell coated water, And even that was agile. I fully intended to host a workshop before I came to Colorado. Well, that wasn't going to happen. But guess what, guys? I'm the boss. And guess what? You're the boss. You can, it's all agile. So I was like, how can I do this in the most efficient way that's going to allow me to keep my boundaries around my time and not to get stressed out and to really just be able to do what I, normally do. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to put together a 2-page PDF. And if you've downloaded it, it's literally just 2 pages of text. And I'm going to set up a basic page, and it's going to say, hey, these are the great things about this. And here, do you want the instructions? Fill out the form. Okay. So people know that the workshop's forthcoming. I haven't started it yet, and that's okay. And I'll get to it. And it's been a great mini funnel into the workshop. Now, at the end of the workshop, I am going to invite people to do the masterclass series. So I'm still going to do it, but I'm just sort of getting people in the funnel of the water. And I hope you don't mind me. I keep posting all of the marketing pieces that I do here and there. As you know, I don't plan them out. I just go, oh, someone gave me a testimonial today. I'm going to post that. Or I see a quote that makes sense. Or I see another video about water and I go, ooh, that's intriguing. I want to share. And so anything that's going to add value and understanding to what you're going to offer is what you want to share with your tribe. And then again, gently remind them, if you haven't gotten your whatever it is, go here to get it. So I'm still going to do a masterclass series around Hollowell coated water, and it's still going to be $300. And I'm still going to, do payment plans for people that want to do $55 a month for 6 months. And I'm still going to show you how to do that, but we're working our way up. So the first thing is the Vishita talk. And that's what I really want to make sure you guys understand, that there's a psychology to it. And even though I've given you the script, right, I say do this, then do this, and do this for 2 to 5 minutes, and do this for, I'm really just telling you exactly what you need to do. But there's a reason behind it. And I want to add some transparency around that because it's not in the instructions. And that is that there's a psychology between DOVE, right? The Dove process. And that's what the Vishita talk outlines. You have to get them to voice their desire. And when you're speaking to someone, you voice the desire for them, right? You say, if you are XYZ, then you're in the right place. You get the desire out by saying, this is what happened to me. Can you relate? So basically you're voicing the desire surrounding why they're here. Why do they want to listen to the end? You introduce yourself, which further gets them to go, oh man, yeah, she gets me. She knows why I want to be here. Then you go into what's the problem, right? And so if you look at the script of the Vishita talk, it's very psychologically sound in that if you show someone what they desire and you remind them of why they want to be here, and then you transfer into what's the obstacles that they're facing so that you can literally position you as the bridge between the desire and the obstacle. So they have a desire, they have all these obstacles, and who's in the middle? You are the bridge. You're the urgent solution to the problem they solve. And that's the entire premise around the Vishita talk, because you can't necessarily expect someone to read a sales page and dish out more than a couple $100 on an impulse buy. At least I don't know who does, maybe millionaires, but not many people sit there and go, oh yeah, I'll just try that for $300. So you've got to give them more so that they can go, oh, I see the value. I understand why this is so important. I value what you have, and it's a deal. Now, there's a psychology to why you make sure that you have an urgent offer that they're not going to just go away and think about, right? You want them to go, oh man, I got to get on this now because it's going away, or it's going to raise in price, or there's only a certain amount of seats, right? That's the limiter. So you can't go wrong if you just open up that Vishita talk document, start typing it out. And that's why I said, if this is stressful for you or you're overwhelmed, do the 25-minute increments. It's very effective. Open the document, set your alarm for 25 minutes, fill out as much as you can, stop, take a break, go walk somewhere. And before you know it, a couple hours, if you dedicate your time, you will have a sound, really cool, compelling Vishita talk. And in fact, most of you will probably have to scale back. That's what usually happens with me. I'm like, suddenly I go, oh my gosh, I can't even talk about all of this in an hour. And as you know, some of my stuff has been 2 hours long, and that's, that's just the way I roll. But so that's really the premise of the whole Elixir is, let's write a Visha to talk. Let's set up a page that invites people to register. And it's very simple. It's not like the normal sales pages that go on and on and on. It's not like your portal product sales page. That's too much information. You want to get them focused and joining, because it's free. They're just giving you their name and their email address. That's all they're doing. And so you want them to do that instantly. Then you have them. Now the key is getting them to come. Why, I don't know about you, but there's oftentimes I go, ooh, that'd be cool. And I sign up, and then it's out of sight, out of mind. So really, there's some work to be done to make sure that you communicate with them enough to say, are you excited? And at the bare minimum, as I outline in the instructions for this Elixir, you've got to remind them 48 hours in advance, 24.
Love you.
I love you, cutie.
Can I have some?
I suppose. Yeah, I think you could.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye,
I
cutie. So you're going to have to send them an email, get them pumped 48 hours in advance, 24 hours in advance, 2 hours in advance, and then a half hour before we're starting, right? We're starting. So the bare minimum I would do is 4 reminders. And that's also in there. And so all of these moving parts are housed in that calendar that I gave you. If you open that thing, you're going to be set. It literally might actually be overwhelming, which I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Just use it if it makes sense. I don't use it anymore. I mean, when I first started, I of course you want to make sure you want to have a way to track everything you're doing. Did I miss anything? Is there something I'm overlooking? But once you get the hang of it, you don't need it anymore. So if you don't need it now, don't use it either. I don't want you to think you have to use any of this stuff. It's just extra stuff to make sure that you're successful. So that calendar, you go through the Elixir, everything you need to get people interested, signed up, and attending your webinar, as well as what you're going to say and how you're going to say it, is in the Elixir. So that's what you have to look forward to if you haven't dived in yet. Dagmar, let me unmute you, or you can if you can get there.
Okay, I
soon.
got it.
Okay, good.
So I have a question that I'm a little bit confused, not confused, but want to clarify, I guess. On the
Okay.
second page, after they register and you take them to the second page saying, congratulations, here's your access, right, to your webinar. Now,
Mhm.
that works great for if you have it recorded, right? What if you're doing it live sometime in the future? Well, there's not much yet.
Right. So that's where that's a good question. And I do address it in one of the Elixirs. If you haven't gotten through them all, it will be addressed, but I don't mind saying again, the page will be join live, and it will you'll paste the upcoming, just like we do in the member center for these. It says join live, and it's got the link for the upcoming workshop, even though it hasn't happened yet. And then
what if you don't have the link yet? I mean, do you need to have the link and the dates? Is that what you need for the second page?
Yes, but you can always say this event is scheduled on, and put the date and the time, and then just say further instructions will be provided closer to the date. But I like to just set up the event. I just like to get it done. And I also like it because it's already done and you can't like change it. It's like, it's official. That's the first thing to zoom out on your calendar. You have to say, when am I hosting this? And then you work backwards, right? It's like, okay, I'm hosting it here, so I have to have all this done before. So the calendar will help you plan that, but I would just get it out of the way and set it up. Even if it's, 3 weeks from now, just set it up, copy and paste that information and say, congratulations, you've made a great choice. I can't wait to share with you, yada, yada. Here's the link that you will join. I will send, and it's also another good way to get people to whitelist you. So I'm glad you brought this up.
What's a whitelist?
Yeah, so a whitelist means that you'll come into their inbox, because people have crazy spam filters these days. And unless you're whitelisted, you can end up in junk. So it doesn't matter if they are totally excited for your workshop. If you send them a reminder and it goes in their junk mail, chances are they aren't seeing it. So this is where it's helpful to say, a reminder will be provided. Be sure to whitelist and then put your email address, the email address from which it's coming from. So this is your MailChimp ID, or, make sure you have, whatever it is that I always say Infusionsoft. But the point is, you need to make sure that it's not going to go in junk, but there's only so much you can do, guys. That's the other unfortunate thing about webinars is I usually get 200 to maybe, I think the most amount of attendees I've had to sign up was close to 350. And I was like, whoa, so many people. And I got on the webinar or workshop, whatever it was, and there was maybe 85 or 90 people live, which was actually a lot. But the point being, don't feel like, oh my gosh, what's happened? A lot of people choose to watch talks in replay, even if they sign up for it, because they know, in fact, you'll get that question a lot. Is there going to be a replay? And I always say for 24 hours, because you don't want to say, yes, there is, because then what happens? More people decide, I don't need to join live. And you want to be the urgent solution to the problem you solve. You want them to be there live. And you also want to consider even having an incentive for people to show up live. I've done that many times where I say, and you're going to want to join live because whatever it is, the first 10 people to read, I don't know, whatever you want to say. Let's think of one. Oh yeah. So I used to do like a notes document. If you join live, you will have access to the presentation notes, right? Then people go, ooh, I want that. Whatever it is you want to give them for coming live.
But I like the idea about the donations too,
Yeah.
So saying replay is available, but for limited time and for a small donation.
That is such a good way. That worked really well for me in the past, because
Really?
I say it's live for 24 hours. After that, it's a donation. Why not?
You do it the free for the 24 hours and then a donation.
Yeah, or whatever. It doesn't have to be. There's no science, but yeah, you don't want to go long. It's free for a week and then more like a day or two for the weekend. Whatever makes sense.
I was thinking just for the actual live being free and then the replays for donation.
Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. Now, before you build a following, that may be a barrier, because maybe people will say, well, then I'm not going to bother, even though I want to watch it. People are strange, it's $10. They wouldn't think about going to the gas station and buying a bottled water and a granola bar if they needed something quickly. And yet this information that could be changing their whole life, it's $10. I can't, it's like, but still, you'll have some people just not do it because of that. So it's up to you. When I was first starting, I made it available forever. I'm like, and here's the replay. And I had it in my website and everything. In fact, a lot of them are still there. If you go in free webinars, they're all there. Anyway, so yeah. Let's see. Is there anything someone needs? So thinking through the fact that this Elixir, whether you've listened to it or not, is going to prepare you to be able to sell, right? A larger program, 200 to 5,000 plus. Is there anything that you're like chomping at the bit to like ask about? And I'll tell you if it's already in there, and I'll generally answer your question. And then otherwise, I can go through the worksheets that are there if I share my screen, and I'm sure I'll be able to think of more things that I haven't said during the Elixir that you'll want to know. But yeah, guys, it's a lot. Don't think that you just are supposed to know all this and that it's not going to be a learning curve, because it is. It's a lot of information and there is a science to it. And so just take it in chunks, watch the 30-minute doses, and maybe watch it again and then do the worksheets, or however you want to do it. But by the time you're done with this Elixir, you should have a really clear idea of how to provide value for people that are going to say, I want to attend this Vishita talk. That's the goal. It's just getting them to listen to you. Just get them to listen to you. And if you do it in person, the conversion rate is much higher. And I do provide you information on that when we get out of this mayhem. when this all comes back to a utopian state of, oh my gosh, guys, think about this. The crap is hitting the fan right now, and everyone's going through the dark night of the soul. Meanwhile, Dadmar has the perfect program for that, right? And all of you have these little parts to play. And as soon as it gets to this tipping point, which is coming up very soon, we are going to have the vast amount of the population of Earth that needs each and every one of you. You know, just think when you went through, I don't know, I'm assuming since you're spiritual, you've gone through it yourself, where you're literally at your lowest low and your life has been flipped upside down and you're like, why? What's the answer? And you're going within. And then something happens in your awareness where you're like, oh, and your eye, you know, your third eye opens and there's more to life than I ever thought. And then you want to find those people that know, and then you get magnetized to people that have a little slice of the memory that you're trying to get back. And that's what each of you are doing. And we're about to have a massive influx of clients like never before, because even last year or 6 years ago, can you imagine when I first started with this, you know, on a hot to codes, people were like, vibration? What is that? You know, it was like, and now people are like, oh yeah, vibration. You know, they get that on a different level now. And so, but there's about to be a lot of people in the world that are confused, looking for answers, seeing past the matrix, going, oh my good God, you know, what is this? And then you guys are here. Every single one of you has a piece of that puzzle. Whew. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, any questions, any comments before I go through maybe the worksheets and expand on anything that I think would be relevant? Murray, I'm loving. It's like you're like in a, you're in and out of, yeah, I love it. I don't know what it is, if it's an effect, but it looks really cool.
Murray is like the Energizer Bunny out there on Facebook these days too, which is like so awesome, man. Oh, I can't even keep up.
Yes, guys, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because every time I see his post, I think immediate posts, what I think about, and you can do this too, is he's putting assets in his bucket. He's putting value in his bucket. His brand is gaining value every time he opens his mouth. People are magnetizing, people are talking, people are interacting, people are joining. And even though it's all free, boy, I can't tell you how important that nurturing cycle is. The vast majority of what you're going to do is going to seem free, but really you'll get paid tenfold on the end, because people, when they connect with you and they see your stuff, you're just preparing them to buy from you eventually, because they will. As soon as he's ready, people are like, oh yeah, I've been seeing his stuff for months. You know what I mean? So 7 times is the average exposure before someone feels comfortable psychologically to say, oh yeah, they're familiar. I trust them, or whatever it is going on, for them to say, yeah, let's do it. So he's just adding value. He's just piling it into this big vat that's going to all cash in, right? It's awesome. So yeah, you're doing the right stuff. Yeah. make sure you can set up a way to grow your list, Murray, because social media is fickle. People come, people go, people are in their little algorithms where they'll see your posts and then they won't see them because they've been using different keywords. I had that happen the other day. Someone said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot all about you. I used to see all your posts 2 years ago and then you disappeared." Well, I didn't disappear. They were on a different frequency algorithm. You know, the algorithm on Facebook is pretty intense. And unless you fit certain pieces, you can ebb and flow with people where you usually see their stuff and then suddenly you're like, I don't see their stuff at all anymore. Well, it's just because you're not on that algorithm anymore. So you want to really make sure you have a way to get people's information. So Murray, what I would do, luckily you have the group. So the group is, a good start. You have them. But I would set up a single page. So go to your Wix, and go to the site that has your book that you got, that we added the jump links to, and you'll add another page. Okay, don't add a whole nother site because you don't want more than one site. You just want to add a page. And I would design a simple, and you can even use the templates they have. Wix has templates. You don't have to start blank. I think Kel has been using templates. And if you don't know how to create a template, watch it, go to YouTube and say how to create a template in Wix. They'll show you in 30 seconds. It'll be like a 2-minute video. Anyway, set up a page that says, thanks for your interest, using the same imagery. Fill out the form to join my newsletter so that we can stay in touch. Get people's information, even if it's just them saying, yeah, I want your newsletter, or whatever it is, because then you're going to have this database of people that you can then say, I have a workshop coming up, I have a talk, do you want to come? Your list is your gold. You really need to build your list. So yeah, so do that, figure out a way to do that. It doesn't take long. It's just a form, first name, email. We will not share your email address, and just hi, thanks. Stay tuned to some amazing things about name of whatever, and join my mailing list. That's it. But it's important. It is really important to do. But yeah, you're rocking it. Love it. So anyone have any questions about anything related to selling a program, inviting people to listen to a talk or a workshop that's going to then funnel them into a larger program, a more expensive program? Anything you can think of, and I'll let you know if it's already included or I'll expand on it.
Okay, I was thinking that at some point you mentioned ideal is to use 2 to 3 weeks to market it, right? But then somewhere you mentioned the real ideal is just 1 week.
Okay.
So I wanted you to maybe expand.
I love that. Yeah. So the ideal from this workshop's happening on this date is 1 week. As soon as you drop a date,
okay,
it has to be probably the next week, because no one plans that far ahead to say, oh yeah, 2 or 3 weeks from now, I'll join that workshop. Their mind really only goes to their next week. What am I doing next week? What am I doing next Friday?
Okay.
What am I doing next Saturday? And so I don't have a date yet. And yet I've been marketing this for a week now, and now I'm on vacation. And when I come back, I'll still be, it'll be a long lead up. But the point is, yeah, as soon as you drop a date, it needs to be no farther than a week out. But before that, you can start getting it ready. Why not? Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Cool. Okay. So Pat, did you get a haircut? Your hair's looking cool, even though you have, oh, sorry. Hold on. We can't hear you. I muted everyone. Darn it. Hold on. Ask to unmute. Can you unmute yourself? Oh, well. I don't know why it's saying ask to unmute.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry, we
Um,
couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
We've had so much rain, so I've had an organic hair wash
Oh,
because I work out well, I'm a sales rep, so I'm out in the road most of the day. So my hair's just been organically washed this week.
and I could tell. I could tell. I was like, something about it. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's because I'm frizzy.
I love
The
it.
effects of water, Anahata.
I know. Go
And this is-
Tycho.
Natural untreated water from the
Yeah.
sky.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, anyone have anything else you can unmute and ask? Otherwise, I'm going to try and see if I can share my screen. Everything on your screen. Yes. Okay. In broadcast.
Thank you, Marie.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen. That's good. Okay. Let me know if you can
Yes,
see
I
my
can
screen.
see. I can see.
Okay, good. Now I have to remind myself, where did I put it? I think it was in here. Yes. Okay. Woo. So you can see my screen right now?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
awesome. Okay, so you guys can unmute and mute yourself however you see fit. I can only see the screen. It doesn't show me also the nav. So that's okay, but as long as you can see this. So scrolling through, as I said here, look, top goal, build your list, build your list. You've got to build your list. So anything you're doing, always try and get them to give you their name and their email, okay? There's a list on where to find them, right? If you're going, well, I don't know where to find these people to talk to them. That list here, the map to clients is going to be, you just open it and there's literally probably 100 in-person and digital places to find the people that would want to attend your event. Your vision to talk. Okay, the sales funnel. If you're not an experienced salesperson, which why would you be if you're, that's probably not your forte. You're going to want to read that sales funnel document because it really does a good job of explaining the whole aspect. It's like a tree, right? No one knows that they need you until you give them something and they come closer and closer and closer, and then they finally take the apple and go, oh my gosh, it's delicious, I want more. But until then, you got to give them the little smell on the breeze with the bee buzzing by them going, what's that, right? You got to get their attention. So and that's with free and valuable content. So the second one, what is the vision to talk, which we sort of talked about. And man, spew your vision to talk, right? This is just like when I had you writing your ebook. You open it, you set the timer, and you just do it. You will be so surprised. Now, this one's even less scary, I think, because it's just going to be verbiage. You aren't going to be writing it, most likely. You're going to be recording it or saying it live. All right. So you don't have to worry about grammar, and you absolutely should make it be your voice. So this is an ideal scenario for you to open the document and just start talking. And if you write 1 to 2 sentences in each category, that'll take 25 minutes, and then come back and flesh each thing out. So it's like the overview and then the view. And then let's see. Okay, so the logistics, you may have some questions here we can talk through, and I'll let you know if it's already covered. But there's various ways to present your vision to talk. There's free ways and there's paid ways. And I talk about all of them in here. I like instantteleSeminar.com just because for a lot of reasons. In fact, I've switched to many other things and then went back. I never canceled Instant Teleseminar, and I've been with them for years. I did my first presentation with them. So 5.5 years, and I love it. So for many reasons, but you know, with instant teleseminar, there's no video. So to me, that feels better when you're like, oh, you know, when I first started, I didn't want to be on video. I just wanted to you know, be like talking to a microphone. And, you know, you also can see what you want to say, right? So I teach you in this dose how to plan, where to consider, like who you think you may want to work with. I'll get to the presentation thing in a minute with the notes. But basically, the logistics are choosing how you want to share the information on what platform, inviting people, which you need to do. That's the marketing part, getting people interested. Then you have to have a sign up mechanism. So that's a 2-page website, right? It's a 2-page, and it's not a new website. It's just another page within your site. So you go to it, go to your page, open it, and click add new page, and you create a page that says hi, you know. And actually I show you how to do that. All these examples down here: invite example, thank you example, invite example. So you've got lots to look at and pull from, and you just invite them to attend. And then once they sign up, you're going to want, and it's free, right? They put in their name, their email address, that's it. Once they register, they will be redirected to the thank you page that says great choice. The live event will take place, you know, here's the details, save them, you know, a reminder will be sent, but you might want to whitelist, you know, my email or what have you. Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question on that. Now, when you're starting with the live one, it'll say something different than what you wanted to say once you have the replay, right? So do you change that page, or do you create a third page for that?
Nope, you just edit the page. And so if you look at the thank you examples on here, most of them have already been, it says, congratulations, the presentation is available in replay, and it's already changed. But yes, and that actually is included in the calendar, in this handout planning calendar. It's either in that one, or I think it's here. It's in the digital event checklist of those 5. You'll
I haven't gotten
see
that far, I guess.
it says, yeah, pre-event and post-event. So there's things you do before, and then there's things you do after. And part of the after is, you know, thanks for attending. Did you miss it? Here's the replay. And you change the thank you page to a replay.
Okay, gotcha. All right, thanks. I didn't get that far. Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's totally fine. So
the question I have, if you don't mind.
No, go for it.
For the talk itself, with like the Zoom, I know they have a specific thing you gotta buy an upgrade to do their webinars, right? But they don't have a way to, there's no way for me to do it on the lower price, to just have people not join the meeting, but just listen to me, right? There's no way of doing that unless you buy that webinar thing. Is that correct?
I think so. Yeah, there's no free version unless you're you are a teacher, so I don't know. I've never really looked
paying for a little. I mean, I'm paying for their thing, but not for the webinar part of it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I personally would not do a webinar on Zoom. I would be so distracted if I had to present a webinar on Zoom, just even now, because you see me, how I'm like, where am I going? It's not very good for me. I like going, you know, to instant teleseminar, having my presentation already there, being able to say, record, hi guys, welcome. And I can read my script if I want to. I shared the slides as I go. I answer things in the chat. And when I say end, it all goes to a recording, and then I can upload it. To me, that's easier. But you can do that same thing in Facebook. Okay, so Here's what I would do if you don't want to pay for instant teleseminar or Zoom. I would just set up a Facebook group and start telling people I'm going to be hosting a free workshop, whatever you want to call it, in my group. Join me and just start anything you post that's related to the stuff you're talking about in the workshop. You know, make sure you join the group to attend the workshop and get people in your group. Now, it's okay. You can still market it when they're not in your group. But the point is you can broadcast live in your group during the time you say you will. And that to me is easy because you'll see the comments. You'll see if there's questions, if you want to answer them. And you can just, and when you're done, it will already be there recorded for replay. You can also then click on the video and it'll expand and there'll be the 3 dots and you can click on that and say download video, which will download the MP4 file to your computer. And after you have that file, you do the same thing as I taught you in Elixir 2 or 1 about taking the MP3 file and uploading it to YouTube. And then you have a YouTube video of your workshop that you can embed anywhere and that you can use to get more people, you know, involved and interested in listening. If you don't want to pay for something immediately, I think that's the best solution.
So basically in Facebook, then you're talking about doing a Facebook Live, which is really a video that
Yep.
you do. Okay.
Yep. And there's no cutoff. You can keep going for an hour and a half. They don't cut you off.
Then you're saying you won't need actually those pages to sign them up on your email, or you won't use that because of that?
Oh, you absolutely want to, you definitely want to have them sign up, and because you want to build your list because you want to remind them, and you can't rely on Facebook because some people aren't on there. Some people don't see what you're posting.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll absolutely want to get them to go to a landing page and register. It's just the thank you page will say, this event's coming up in my Facebook group. Be sure to join. Here's the link, right? So
Okay.
and not to confuse things, you can, inside your group, your Facebook group, you can set up an event. So if you're in your Facebook group, there's an event tab. And
I've done that before, actually. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that way people can RSVP. They'll get a reminder. It's very functional. It's a very good way to do it. But if you don't want to go through that trouble, you don't have to. But then the point is, even in the replay, if they register and they didn't catch it live, you can link to the actual video replay in an email, right? How'd you like the workshop? Did you miss it? Click here, right? You want to always, you know, get them to actually watch it. Come listen.
Okay.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah, because I haven't quite, you know, given it throw thought as to what platform to use for this. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's other ones listed up here too in the first dose.
Yeah, I got the provider list links and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That one, provider list link. But if you don't want to be on camera the first time, you're going to want to choose something that's just a slideshow presentation without you being on video.
Oh, I see.
So let's see, getting people to attend your event. Because guys, once you have your page that says, join my workshop, name, email, right? Once you have your registration page, that's the page you're going to market everywhere. Okay. Everywhere you talk about it, you're going to put that link so that they go, oh, register. So in addition to always asking yourself, who can hear me, right? Anytime you write anything, you've got to really think about, I always ask myself, who's listening? Based on what I've said, who's listening? And is that who I want to listen? right? You really want to check yourself and make sure you're talking to who you serve based on the niche of people that will want to buy, right? So who can hear me? And the second thing is, do they know what to do? What do they need to do? And it has to be very simple. So that's the CTA, the call to action. What's the call to action? I see so many amazing light workers and gurus where they're posting this incredible information and they say nothing about what to do with it. And I'm not talking about salesy stuff. It doesn't have to be like, and buy this, but always give them something to do. Join my workshop, sign up for my newsletter, join my group, whatever it is, there needs to be a call to action. So who can hear me? And what am I asking them to do? Okay. Always ask those two things. Coming down here. Yeah, so there's in this elixir, I talk about, in this dose, it's about, the benefits of having something pre-recorded versus live. And then the how-to, which is going to resemble anything you find on any presentation software. It's going to be generally the same. And then some checklists to keep in mind, just to make sure, it's like, you want to make sure that you've thought of everything, and that's an ongoing list for both. And then the call to action, we just talked about how that's really important. So yes. Yeah, and what happens after they buy, right? As I said, you're not, when you're done, that's when you actually have to start delivering. And that's what we're going to go into in Elixir 4 is the masterclass series, how to give them that. And then Elixir 5 is going to be the big program, how to give them that. And then the 6th one is your subscription model, how to give them that. But it's all going to be using the same foundations we've already learned this whole time. Okay. Yeah, I would say the only thing I really want to underscore here on dose 6 is practice asking for the sale. Practice asking for the sale. And don't be tempted to skip over it. I see time and time again, people leaving it up to, I hope they join. No, you need to ask, and you need to be specific, and you need to give them a limiter or some sort of incentive to do it now. But you have to practice asking, because otherwise what's going to happen is, even psychologically, subconsciously, you won't really think about it. You'll be all on fire, right? Because you're like sharing your story, what happened to you, why you built this, giving them your magic, giving them the tips you said you would give them that changed their life, and you're all excited about it. And then you move into the sale, and you're like, so I'm offering this masterclass series. Here's where to find out more information. Thanks, guys. Bye. Like, no. You need to have a lot the time that's in the talk, right? Go back to the script, and it's 5 to 15 minutes, I think. I can't remember, but it's a big chunk of time. You need to then position why they want to join, why they shouldn't pass this up. And I know a lot of people don't like doing that, but you need to. And if you want to just think of it as, they do need, your ideal client needs what you have. So why wouldn't you want to share that with them? If they have a need to buy ingredients to bake a cake, you're not going to sit there and go, I'm not going to tell you about how to bake this cake. You're going to give them the ingredients, and you're going to take the money, right? They need what you have, or they won't buy. So don't be afraid to say, okay, this is what I have to offer. It's not going to be for everyone, but would you like to join? Is this something of interest to you? If it is, you're going to, get a really amazing thing. If not, that's okay too, but you have to take the time. And the only way to do it right is to practice. Yeah, that part of it's very, very important.
Mhm.
And there's different ways to ask based on the price point, which we'll talk about when I teach you Elixir 5 masterclass as opposed to Elixir 4 versus 5 with the big price point. Okay.
And I had a question real quick.
Sure.
Are we getting, again, a personal coaching with you as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Do we
Yeah.
have
So
time frame
so
for that, or
what'd you say?
do we have like a set time frame for that again? I haven't seen anything about it, so I wonder.
Yeah. I actually need to update the verbiage, but just use the same booking link and book. But it's going to be 3 weeks out, right? So I don't even know what's today's date. So it should be somewhere inside the third week of February. Do it before then. But I'll get an exact date. I can't recall. It's whatever the Wednesday, it's the Tuesday before the Wednesday when we do Elixir 4. That's the cutoff. So the cutoff is the last day before the whole new Elixir, if that makes sense. So I can't remember what day that is coming up. So yeah, book your session now, whenever you want to book it.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work, I'll let you know, as far as if it's not a good time.
Isn't the last thing we're doing for this Elixir like next week? No.
Yeah, I guess it would be yeah, but so then you'd have all of this week, all of the following week, because it's not till the following week. So I guess it's 2 more weeks. But yes, technically at the end of last week was the 3-week window to book. And if you last Wednesday, if you got to dose 6, I say book your session. But if you didn't get that far, then that's okay. But yes, so you'll have 2 full weeks from today
Okay.
to book that.
All
And
right.
it's okay if it goes a little over. We'll be okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, cool, because I haven't heard anything about that, so I wasn't sure.
Well, you didn't listen to dose 6, Missy.
Yeah, I guess I didn't get that far yet. I'm
No,
kind of
it's
slow
okay.
this time, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I actually do need to put the date range. I don't think I did that. So,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, so cool. So does anyone have any general, it's a big dose, right? It's a big elixir.
Mhm.
It's a lot of stuff. And you're seeing how I'm asking people to get it. I get messages all the time. When's the workshop? When's the workshop? When's the workshop? People are so excited for the workshop. That's what you want. And boy, I am just loving the choose your price point functionality for that I get with SamCart. Okay. I don't know if it's an option. Well, you could have 3 different buttons in your Wix page, PayPal button 1, 2, and 3, $1, 20, 50, or whatever, right? Not $1, maybe do 10, 20, 40, whatever. My point is, choose what you want to pay is such an amazing way to do it, I think, because if you just say it's $10, some people think that's too much and they go away.
Mm-hmm.
If it's choose your own and it's $1 is the minimum, when they go to pay, they're gonna, something inside of them says this is worth more than $1. I think that wouldn't be right if I just gave $1. You know what I mean? It's not to say that people don't just do $1, because some of them are legitimately, they don't know what you're doing and they have no idea if it's going to work. They just came across your post and they're going to just do $1 because they have no clue if what you're saying is real, right? That's fine. But the point is, you get all those people, and then people who are like, oh my gosh, have been following you for years. I love your stuff. I'm going to give you 50. You know what I mean? So it's choose your own price point I think is a really good way to do it. And I think the last time I checked, I took the total, which is approaching $3,000, guys, $3,000 for a 2-page PDF, divided
Oh.
by the amount of people that have registered. It's at least $11, $12 per person. So if you compare this campaign to my ebook, it's 3 times more than my ebook and less work. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, you know, get as many of these set up and out there as you can, because you should be able to have more than one stream and on-demand program going. So anyway.
So you're saying, you're talking about this choose your own payment for the replays, right? The donations. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, sorry, I had switched over to the getting people excited for my workshop, because I don't have my workshop done. I'm like, hey guys, I'm doing a workshop, but in the meantime, if you want the Hollowell coated water instructions, choose your own donation. So
I see.
if you click on hollowellcoatedwater.com, you'll see the sales page, and at the bottom, it's choose your own price. So it's worked really well for me. So hollowellcoatedwater.com. And you'll also, it's a good sales page to look at external evidence that you can put in your sales page that only adds value to what you're offering, even though you didn't create the content. I have 6 videos in there that talk about water and how you can program things in it and the amazing power of water and all of the stuff that if you take the time to listen to, you're going to be like, wow, I'm definitely getting this coated water instructions based on what you just listened to.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. If you're, it's basically just nurturing, it's preparing the soil so that when you plant the seed, which is your talk, and then they're gonna, want the sun to grow, because it's exactly what they've been hoping for based on what you've been sharing. Okay, so we are already at time. I'm hoping I can get back into Zoom without messing it up. Let's see. Stop share. Okay. All right. Let me look in the chat and just make sure there's nothing. Let's see. From Ralika, Elixir One, opt-in monster. The right lead gen tool, it keeps you to grow your list, nurture leads, and drive more sales. Yeah, guys, there's so many programs that I don't know a lot about. Go check them out and let us know if you like them. It's just a list right now because there's other things that you may want to check into. I don't know much about that one, but I did list it. Yeah. Teleseminar, Kel, is a monthly subscription. And I think I should know this, but I probably don't. I think it's $39 a month, if I'm remembering. I think it's
You
$39.
can look it up on Google, just look at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pricing and stuff. I don't know. I
Yeah.
recall something about $50 a month, perhaps. I'm not sure exactly anymore.
I may have gotten in at a grandfather, like forever this price rate.
Years
It may have
ago,
gone
yeah.
up since then, because I've had it for 5 years. Five and a
Wow,
half.
that's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, they're awesome. So
I want to say, Anahata, that you are amazing at splitting information in and giving it value. It's like I'm like flabbergasted by that.
oh, you're so sweet.
It is. It's like, you take this little portion, and what I would normally do is like just say, hey, this is the way it is. And you're like, make this whole ceremony around it, and you get such value that people, oh yeah, this is awesome. I got to learn how to do this. This does not come naturally to me.
Yeah.
Fascinating how you do that.
Thank you. I don't even have a tip on how. I guess my tip would be view yourself as a child and don't take anything for granted.
Mhm.
Because if you're like a child looking at a piece of bread, for example, you're like, oh my God, look at this piece of bread. It's got the crust, it's got the, ooh, and you could tear it
Right.
apart.
That's what you're
But
really good at.
When
Yeah,
you're an
exactly.
adult, you're like, it's
Yeah.
a piece of bread.
I know. I'm like, it's just a piece of bread, right? What's the big
No,
deal?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, imagine yourself as a child, and then you may get some surprising excitement going. I don't know.
No, that's great. That's a good tip. I gotta get good at that. Yeah. Or Lucas say, yeah. I know.
Okay, guys. Well, I love you so much. I can't wait to have my personal sessions with you all. In the meantime, any
Sounds good.
questions that come up, use the group, and just go at your own pace. The last thing I want to mention is all of the stuff we're learning now is what you do in order to get the sale. So it's okay if you're like, oh my God, I haven't done any of this. It's still needed when we move into how to deliver your masterclass. It's sort of like you're going to do it anyway. So don't feel like you're left behind, because it'll still be relevant. Because the next Elixir is now, based on your vision to talk, how do you give them your masterclass? And it just adds a nice little layer to it. It's not crazy new stuff that's disjointed from the time before. It's all a beautiful cake. Just like in my presentations with the house, it's like you build little things and then you come back and you do more and then you do more. It's not like, oh, we've already built that house and we're moving to the next house. We're still in the same house. So keep that in mind. You're doing it non-linear. It's all a progression. So, all right, guys.
Well, thank you so
Love
much,
ya.
Cheers,
girlfriend.
Abe.
Awesome.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Bye, guys. Love you all.
Love you.
Love you. See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.